Good evening. Thank you for joining us here on THV11. I'm Craig O'Neill, and you are just in time for one of our favorite holiday traditions every year, the Good News Special. Coming to you tonight from the Arkansas Repertory Theater, who reminds you that the whole world's a stage. And on our stage tonight, the best feel-good stories from 2023. The stories that brought us all joy. Even though this past year was faced with challenges, beginning with that tornado that ripped through central Arkansas back in March. But as Arkansans always do, we showed up for one another, and our communities came back stronger.
New Commandment Church of God in Christ just had a mortgage burning ceremony on March 5th, celebrating the fact that they paid off their church just weeks ago, and 3 days ago, that same church destroyed by a tornado. But as you can see behind me, that's not stopping them on this Sunday morning. That's why my heart is filled with praise.
See, you see those beams? They came down from other places. That's not part of New Commandment.
Pastor Eddie Miller says God has showed his church grace. Even after paying off the mortgage for the church on March 5th, he says nothing happens without God allowing it to happen. And God showed his mercy by sparing lives. And Pastor Miller says if that storm would have been delayed by just 1 hour, the church would have been filled with at least 200 people. On Friday night, they had a youth program scheduled. The sanctuary, as you can see, just a disaster. But one thing left untouched, these 3 crosses here on this wall.
That's how quickly things can change. But the thing we have to wonder, is your faith real? Is it still strong when adversities come? When problems happen like this, do you still love God? Do you still believe God? And my answer is yes.
Pastor Miller says at the start of the year, they had been planning to do a service outside of the church for the community to draw those outside closer to God.
I guess God said, you're not moving fast enough.
I love you. I love you, Lord. I love you. I love you, Lord.
I commend y'all and for being here and being resilient and persevering through hard times.
The service starting at 11 a.m. with no planned time to end. One mission in mind, bring hope back to the community.
We're the church, and we're strong.
Miller saying he hasn't been sad at all during this time.
Excited about the next level. We just turned the page to a new chapter.
In fact, happy even that they can publicize what God has done and will do for them. Just a reminder of what faith looks like. In Jacksonville, I'm Journey Taylor.
Few bonds are stronger than the one we have with our pets.
So he's honestly like my best friend.
And even fewer are as strong as Leandria and kids.
As soon as I walked in the pound and I seen him and he had one ear up and one ear down, I was like, yep, he's mine.
But playing in the yard like this almost didn't happen when that bond took a turn for the worse last month.
Swear to God.
Gray used to live at the Calais Forest Apartments in Little Rock. Used to, because her home is now gone.
I took a nap and woke up in a tornado.
Like many, she was in a rush to get what she could and get out that Friday afternoon. She grabbed the essentials, but couldn't find the most important thing.
Grabbed my bag, it's right at the front door, and grabbed his collar. And I ran back outside and he was gone. So I'm screaming his name, and he wasn't coming.
Gray couldn't find Kid, and the apartments weren't open for her to go look.
After that, I wasn't able to go look around or none of that because the team came. And it was very devastating. I really thought I lost my baby.
Facebook posts got her nowhere. Other people found their pets, but she couldn't find Kid until last weekend.
My heart is complete. My heart is complete, and he's okay, and he's safe.
A demolition team found Kid in a closet 3 weeks on his own. They turned him into the Little Rock Animal Village in awe that he survived this long. And after all that time, Gray finally got to see him again.
Yeah. Hey, Fat Me, I miss you. Oh, I miss you. I miss you. Because this moment could have never happened, and I thought it was never going to happen.
There are few bonds stronger than the ones we have with our pets, and ones like this won't ever be broken again.
I thought I lost him forever. But this is my forever baby.
In Little Rock, Ian Russell, THV11 News.
So what do we have?
Okay, so you've got the smoky grilled chicken breast,
Julie and Butch Bauer have been married for 57 years, now in retirement, but not ready to slow down.
See you later.
They are volunteers for the Red Cross. They've come all the way from Indiana to help with relief efforts after the tornado.
Well, we're just here to give hope, and we understand what they're going through as best as we can.
They've been in Arkansas for a week now, helping distribute meals to those in need.
You can serve the rolls, maybe. And we have Cambros full of a meat of some sort, a couple vegetables, rolls, and utensils. And we box those all up.
It's something these two have been doing a while, helping those who need it most, with no plans of stopping anytime soon.
Sometimes you get tears in your eyes. You see people that are really struggling. I'm sorry.
Okay. And you help them?
Yes. I think making them feel better.
In Little Rock, Ashley Godwin, THV11 News.
Wynn is, it's one of a kind. You really can't describe it.
Hannah Settles is a face you'll recognize from here on THV11, and if you're from Wynn, you probably know her too.
But I'll always be sure to mention, I'm from Wynn. Oh, you're from Wynn? Yeah, I'm from Wynn. City with a smile.
She may not live there anymore, but something has always connected her and other alumni back to town, the high school. But 2 months ago, that place was ripped apart.
And I called my mom to check on her. She was like, it's bad. And I said, what do you mean? She said, Hannah, the whole school's just gone.
Hannah had last visited Wynn not even 2 weeks before the storm hit, shooting video for her 10-year class reunion this year. That video is now all that's left of the building.
Just be able to be in the place that brought us all those memories, and it's just not there anymore.
Hannah started dating her husband in that high school. Friends she still has, she met there. Memories are all that's left, and she's not alone with that thought.
There are memories, and that's the one thing about Wynn is, man, we are such a close-knit family.
Kenneth Moore is the superintendent of the Wynn School District. Just like Hannah, he's a grad as well. While the building is gone, the good times are still there, and he says they plan to honor that.
One of the visions we have is to have a wall somewhere in the new high school that's just a memory wall. Also to have just some things that other schools and places have done for us.
But it's also a chance to make new memories. They can't get the building back, but the next generation of Yellow Jackets will have a new home to remember, all their own.
To know of all the hope and what the future is going to bring to Wynn once this school gets rebuilt. Wynn's going to be on top once all of that's finished and they have that ribbon cutting, and it's like, look at this brand new school we've gotten,
In Little Rock, Ian Russell, THV11 News.
Welcome back to the Arkansas Repertory Theater, where rehearsal is going on right now for their next big show, while we bring you some of our favorite stories of the year involving Arkansans who go above and beyond to impact their communities. And these next two stories show you how important it can be to simply be yourself.
I was really shocked. I probably almost cried because it's such a crazy moment, because you go from a traditional lemonade stand in your grandparents' front yard and now you're in stores.
That was 13-year-old Kylie McGee's reaction when her mom surprised her with the news that her lemonade hit store shelves in Central Arkansas.
All these different people are trying your lemonade and you're like, oh yeah, that's me. It's crazy.
It's been a long road to get here. We first introduced you to Kylie in 2017. She was 7 years old at the time, running her own food truck. She and her family still bring the food truck out to events around the area, but now her primary focus is selling lemonade.
I try to get a lot of my homework done while I'm at school, so when I get out of school, I can help my mom get the lemonade to stores and stock the shelves whenever I can.
Kylie says when she's not putting money earned back into the business, she's putting some of it away for college. Her goal is to sell in stores out of state too, in addition to the 11 local ones she's already in and her website.
People recording videos and posting reviews, especially on TikTok, it's getting my business really out there, so it's helping out a lot.
And she says she learns a lot from her mom as the business grows.
There's a lot of stuff that I don't really know about, so she kind of teaches me along the way, and I kind of try to do it with her. She's really a big support, and I love her.
And she looks forward to the expansion in the near future. In Little Rock, Brooke Buckner, THV11 News.
We don't know each other. We've never flown together before. Yeah. And we just, all the ingredients came together, random like that.
It was a regular day of work for these Delta flight attendants until something special happened on Tuesday evening while walking to their gates.
I think we all looked around and knew, okay, this is going to be an all-black crew as far as the flight attendants. But when the pilots showed up, both of them, that's when it just became like, oh my gosh.
With all the experience in the world when it comes to flying on planes and servicing others, Felicia Kay, Alana Doucette, and Tim Lee weren't expecting this moment of being a part of history by having an all-African-American crew.
To actually have my own experience, it's just a different feeling that, you can't explain. You have to just kind of savor the moment. You're like, wow, this is really happening.
That's when Felicia Kay, a flight attendant from Little Rock, Arkansas, knew this moment was too good to pass up.
It was amazing to me, and I wanted to capture it. I kept saying to them, we got to get this picture. We got to get this picture. We got to get this picture. You guys, we got to.
They say a picture can be worth 1,000 words, and to Lee, it was.
Just being from a small town where, being in aviation was not a big thing, but to see all of us, of people of color, and to also know that working at a company like Delta, that this is possible.
With the viral picture surfacing all social media platforms, Kay says there was one post by Jet Magazine that stood out the most.
When they put the flight attendant, the very first flight attendant, 1958, and put our picture next to it and said how it started versus how it's going, that just made me tear up.
And it's moments like this that representation matters, as it reminds Doucette of why she chose this career.
It's a good, warm feeling because you're like, okay, they haven't gotten that exposure to see someone like me do this job. So it just melts your heart because you're like, okay, it makes you feel good about doing the job.
In Little Rock, Rebecca Brown, THV11 News.
Oh, yeah. We're listening to rehearsal of a Motown Christmas here at the Arkansas Repertory Theater. It's got us going here. And so will this. Sometimes these good news stories don't start out that way. Sometimes you can get joy even in the darkest of times.
I couldn't wrap my head around, I guess, what was going on. I kept saying, what do I need to do? What's going on? Is he okay?
On June 10th, 2021, Megan James got the call that her husband had been in an accident while working on a power line. Aaron had touched a live wire, losing most of his left arm, his left eye, nose, and front teeth. This May, a groundbreaking surgery would change everything.
It never bothered me how he looked or anything, but it bothered me how he felt about it. I knew he wanted this.
As a part of the face transplant, Aaron also received the first ever human eye transplant. Doctors are hopeful that not only will the eye work again, but what they can learn from him can help patients in the future.
I'm the first one to get one, ever. So, that opens up a whole new line of medical things, that could start happening.
And while the surgery has brought international attention, this week, Aaron's just grateful to be back at a kitchen table.
How's your first meal in 2 years for Thanksgiving?
His family set up an early holiday this weekend where Aaron could eat his first full Thanksgiving dinner.
I think you might have had the biggest plate, I'm not sure.
And his family could see his new face for the first time in person.
I can't do. Never in my wildest dreams would I thought that we'd be sitting here today.
Not only sitting with his family, but sitting in Arkansas specifically, because even when he woke up from groundbreaking surgery, he couldn't help but wait to get back home.
I'm sitting there looking out the window, over New York City. I start calling the hogs right there in my room.
No place I'd rather be.
One more time.
Than on TV.
LeVar Burton came to Washington Elementary in Little Rock. The star of Reading Rainbow, the miniseries Roots, Star Trek, was there because of his new role. Advocate for the science of reading. At Washington, he came to witness its implementation. He would visit the classroom of first grade teacher Tamika Marbley, who was naturally nervous.
Well, I'm certain that the only thing required of you in this moment is to be yourself.
Look at that, they've got kids.
But when LeVar and I came to watch, if she was nervous, we never saw it. And there it was, on full display, the science of reading techniques.
So I have to choose what letter? C-K.
The sounds of letters.
Is S-H a stop sound or a continuous sound?
The sounds of letters in groups.
C-K is one of them.
And constant encouragement.
C, high five, good job.
And then reinforcement, as the kids were challenged to form their own letter groupings and words based on what they'd just seen and heard, all under the watchful eye of Burton, eyes that, after the session ended, were filled with tears. When we had a chance to sit and talk, I had to know what produced those tears.
Just the realization that this room full of black kids, right, is finally getting the sort of opportunities and learning instruction that all the white kids get, right? And that their futures are now set free.
And in our conversation with Tamika, it was obvious she had become the day's big star.
Watching you in action and then seeing their reaction, they're in it, they're in the system. They know the cues, they know what they're supposed to, they know tapping it out.
My students were like, we're gonna be famous.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they don't get that. Mm-hmm. And to have the attention brought on their skills and abilities is amazing.
I'm all right, how are you?
And that attention was then spread to Pine Bluff and given to Pine Bluff Elementary School teachers as they implement science of reading.
So I wanted to know what's differences, what have your experience has been in making this transition.
To see the joy when they're able to blend the sounds together and say the words on their own.
The roundtable discussion was enthusiastic and progressive, and you got the sense that the teachers were confident the data would soon support their commitment to the science of reading, a commitment that comes easily for LeVar Burton.
We have a responsibility to these kids to do what we can, to give them what they need, to give back to the world what's been given to them. That's the cycle that we need to encourage and create. This is what we do as human beings. We lift one another up.
Well, you can add LeVar Burton, movie star, to a growing list of volunteers in Arkansas looking to improve literacy in our state. And organizations coming together more than ever to produce a new sense of momentum that I don't think our state's ever experienced before. And that's why their efforts belong on this Good News special. That, and they share a common bond with everything we've shown you. Determination. There wasn't one Arkansan we've shown you that didn't feel like they had the confidence or the inability to overcome. They did it in style. And it's that sense of strength and optimism that we can all draw on as we face obstacles in the coming months. It's why tonight, these stories have been a gift that we now inject in this wish to all of you. Merry Christmas from THV11. Good night.